Hey everyone, Jack here, TalkNorwichCity. Hope you guys are all doing well, despite the result that we've seen today. Norwich City going down 1-0 to Arsenal at the Emirates. It was 20th versus 19th in the Premier League, and 20th place Arsenal leapfrog Norwich, and Norwich City still without a point in the Premier League after 4 games this season. A big thank you as always to OneFootball, who sponsor these preview and reviews on the channel. I headed over there to look at the stats, and some worrying reading for Norwich City today, and it did feel like it was one-way traffic in large portions of that game, and unfortunately the stats back that up. Arsenal, 30 shots on goal, granted only 2.5 expected goals, but you look at them, you look at the way in which we play today, and you look at the way in which we've played this season really, and it feels unsustainable. If you want to pick up points in this division, you know, you can't be giving up 30 shots on goal. We knew that Arsenal were there for the taking in some capacity today. Granted, they're still Arsenal, and they were the highest spenders in the Premier League over the course of the summer, over £120 million spent, but it felt like there was an opportunity there today. 30 shots on goal. We had just 1 shot on target. Arsenal had 6. They had more corners, they had slightly more possession, and the possession they had felt more dangerous. I must admit, having looked at the lineup when it came out, you just look at it and go, what? Like, that is not the team you want to be seeing. We had Lucas Rupp in there, who isn't Premier League quality. Kieran Dowell in there, when arguably Milo Rashica has been one of the standout players of the season. Todd Cantwell not on the pitch. That's fair enough, because I wanted Christos Jolis in there. Big Andy comes in. Now, a lot of people saying the reason that Ozan Kabak wasn't playing was because he hasn't, played much football this season. Well, the same could be said for Big Andy in terms of Premier League football. He went in there, to be fair, had a decent game. I would have gone for Ozan Kabak. Grant Hanley, we'll get onto the goal later, but not his best performance. It just wasn't the team I'd be going for. I'd certainly have Matthias Norman in there. Instead, we had a midfield 3 of McLean, Rupp and Leigh-Malou. No Billy Gilmore. The bench was far stronger than the starting 11, and I can only assume that Josh Sargent wasn't fully fit, hence the reason why Teemu Pukki started. But we simply haven't had enough shots on goal this season to really punish teams, and unfortunately it's another blank for Teemu Pukki today, and there's questions that you have to take from this. Granted, we've had 4 incredibly difficult games: Liverpool, Man City, Leicester, and of course Arsenal today, but it's just the manner of the defeats feel like a worry at the moment. I think if you would have said to me at the start of the season that we wouldn't have any points after 4 games, I would have probably believed you. But the Leicester result probably felt slightly more unfortunate than poor. And even to an extent today, the goal that Arsenal scored looked offside. There looked like there was maybe a slight handball in the lead up to it, and it counted. I mean, I'm going to have to see it back later, but it does look offside. It was reviewed by VAR, and it did stand. So Norwich City could maybe feel slightly hard done by there, but I'm a strong believer that you make your own luck in this division. And I don't think we're doing enough to get that luck at the moment. We're not putting enough shots on the opposition goal. We're giving up far too many chances, and soft chances at the back. It could have been more than 1 today. Tim Krul had a fantastic game. And Norwich City have to ask themselves questions ahead of a really, really big game against Watford next week. Still no points on the board, going up against a fellow team that will be expected to be down in the bottom of the table this season. They, of course, came up with us last season from the Championship, so huge pressure on there. In terms of the positives today, I thought Brandon Williams was excellent, and I think he's been good on the whole since we've signed him. He would be my man of the match. And Tim Krul, I thought looked more assured than he has done in the past few games, despite conceding a goal, but it certainly wasn't his fault. It feels like a missed opportunity today for Norwich. Granted, a defeat at the Emirates, I think if the neutral looks at it, it probably doesn't look that out of line. But as I say, it's the way in which we've gone down, and it's the performance levels. It just looks a bit passive. And that's the worry for me. Look, maybe going up against slightly weaker opposition, which we will do from here on in, will pose opportunity. I think Farke got it wrong with the team today. I would have had Norman in there. I would have had Kabak in there. I would have certainly had Milo Rashica in there. And I would have had Billy Gilmore in there. So I would have made a lot of changes. Yes, I'm not the Norwich City manager, but I think a lot of people would have probably agreed with me. Maybe not so much on Ozan Kabak, because I get that he's maybe not fully up to match sharpness, but what's the harm in chucking him in there? For me, you're going to have to start him at some point. You're going to have to get him up to speed at some point. And I don't think match fitness doesn't come in training, and I'm sure he was good enough to go today. So a disappointing one. Let me know what you guys think. If you're an Arsenal fan who's come over from AFTV, welcome to Talk Norwich City. I hope you've enjoyed the content over the last week, and hopefully you stick about. As always, a big thank you to OneFootball. You can find their app down in the description below. Have a lovely evening, whatever you're up to. Let me know your thoughts on the game down in the comment section below. See you later. Bye-bye.